2 in the morning, and I'm standing in my kitchen like some kind of insomniac fool, staring at Clara's work phone glowing on the granite countertop. My wife of 12 years supposedly left for a 7-day spa retreat in Vermont this afternoon. But here's her company iPhone, the one she claims she can't live without, sitting right where she left it next to the coffee maker. I'm Elliot Brenner, 42 years old, owner of Brenner Construction, and apparently the biggest sucker in Millfield, Massachusetts. The house feels different without Clara's presence. Quieter, but not peaceful. More like the silence before a storm. I pick up the phone. No password. Clara always said she had nothing to hide. The first message I see makes my blood freeze. Missing you already, babe. Can't wait for our week together. Gee. My hands start shaking as I scroll through more messages, photos, explicit texts, plans for romantic dinners, and cozy nights at the Riverside Motel just outside town. All from someone named Gavin Miller. I sink into the kitchen chair, the same one where Clara kissed me goodbye this morning, telling me how much she needed this time to find herself. Found herself, all right. Found herself wrapped around some guy named Gavin. The worst part? The messages go back months. While I was working 16-hour days to pay for our mortgage, our cars, her shopping trips. She was planning her escape with another man. I'm still holding the phone when mine buzzes. Text from Mrs. Patterson, our 70-year-old neighbor who sees everything from her front window. Elliot, saw Clara leave in a silver BMW around noon. Wasn't your truck. Everything okay? I type back. Thanks, Mrs. P. Just a friend giving her a ride. But my mind is racing. I walk to our bedroom, flip on the light, and check Clara's dresser. Her favorite underwear is gone. The expensive stuff I bought her for our anniversary. The silk nightgowns. Her good perfume. This isn't a spa trip. This is a trial run for leaving me. I grab my laptop and start searching. Gavin Miller, real estate agent, Miller Premium Properties. His website shows a smiling man in his early 30s, all white teeth and styled hair. His bio mentions his commitment to helping families find their dream homes, and includes a photo of him with a blonde woman and 2 kids at what looks like a company picnic. The son of a bitch is married. I dig deeper. Social media shows Gavin's wife, Jessica, posting regularly about their perfect family life. Their kids play soccer, they go to church. Jessica works as a nurse at Millfield General, so Clara isn't just cheating on me. She's helping this guy cheat on his wife and kids. I pour myself 3 fingers of bourbon and sit in my workshop behind the house. This is where I do my real thinking, surrounded by tools and half-finished projects. The smell of sawdust and motor oil usually calms me down. But tonight it just reminds me of all the hours I've spent out here while Clara was apparently texting her boyfriend. By 4 in the morning, I've made my decision. Clara wants to play games? Fine. But she's playing with the wrong guy. I've been underestimated my whole life. In high school, teachers thought I was just another blue-collar kid headed nowhere. When I started my construction company, competitors figured I'd fold within a year. When I married Clara, her friends whispered about how she was settling for a contractor instead of some corporate executive. But here's what they all missed. I'm patient, I'm thorough, and I never start a job I don't intend to finish. Clara's about to learn that the hard way. The next morning, I call my foreman, Mitch Rodriguez. Scratch that, Mitch Sullivan. He's been with me for 8 years, ever since I pulled him out of a bar fight and offered him a job instead of a trip to jail. Mitch is built like a linebacker and has the loyalty of a golden retriever, which makes him perfect for what I'm planning. Boss, you sound like hell, Mitch says when he arrives at my workshop. Clara still at that spa thing? Something like that. I show him the photos from Clara's phone. Turns out my wife's idea of relaxation involves a real estate agent named Gavin Miller. Mitch's face darkens. That cheating. Easy, Mitch. We're going to handle this smart, not stupid. I need your help with a project. What kind of project? The kind where we gather information before we make our move. I've already printed out everything I could find about Gavin Miller. Home address, work schedule, client listings, even his gym membership. The guy's one of those people who overshares on social media, posting his location constantly. First thing we need is a tracker on Clara's car, I tell Mitch. Magnetic GPS unit, nothing illegal. I want to know where she really goes when she comes back. You think she'll come back? Oh, she'll be back. This is just a test run. She's not ready to give up the house, the credit cards, the comfortable life I've built for her. She wants to have her cake and eat it too. Mitch nods. What else? We're going to learn everything there is to know about Mr. Gavin Miller, his habits, his weaknesses, his pressure points. Knowledge is power, and I intend to have all the power in this situation. We spend the morning installing a small GPS tracker under Clara's Honda Civic. The car's parked in our garage, and I have every right to put a tracker on a vehicle I helped pay for. Nothing illegal about a husband keeping tabs on his own property. Next, we drive past Gavin's office. Miller Premium Properties sits in a strip mall between a nail salon and a Chinese restaurant. His silver BMW, the same one Mrs. Patterson saw Clara leave in, is parked right out front. Fancy car for a small-town real estate agent, Mitch observes. That's what I'm thinking. Either business is really good, or he's living beyond his means. We grab lunch at Paulie's Bar, the local dive where construction workers, mechanics, and other blue-collar guys hang out. The owner, Val Kowalski, has been serving beer and gossip in equal measure for 20 years. If there's dirt to be found on anyone in Millfield, Val knows about it. Elliot, haven't seen you in a while, Val calls out as we take seats at the bar. How's Clara? Taking some time to find herself, I say, keeping my voice neutral. Good for her. Woman needs to spread her wings sometimes. Val sets down 2 beers without being asked. Speaking of spreading wings, you hear about that real estate guy, Miller something? My pulse quickens, but I keep my expression casual. Can't say I have. Word is he's been showing a lot of houses to women whose husbands aren't around, if you know what I mean. Val winks. My cousin Diane works at the Riverside Motel, says he's been renting the same room every few weeks. Always pays cash, always brings different ladies. Mitch nearly chokes on his beer. I kick him under the bar. Sounds like a real charmer, I say. His wife's a sweetheart, though. Jessica Miller. She comes in here sometimes after her shifts at the hospital. Works double shifts to help pay for their kids' activities, while her husband's out showing properties. Val shakes his head. Some guys don't know how good they have it. We finish our beers and head back to my workshop. I've got a plan forming, but I need more information first. Mitch, I want you to drive by the Riverside Motel tonight. See if Clara's car is there. And if it is, then we'll know for sure. But don't do anything stupid. Just observe and report. That evening, I'm in my kitchen when my phone rings. It's Clara. Hi, honey, she says, and her voice sounds breathless, excited. Just wanted to check in. How's the spa? Oh, it's wonderful. So relaxing. The massage therapist here is amazing. I'll bet he is, I think, but I keep my voice level. That's great, sweetheart. You deserve some pampering. The only thing is, my phone's been acting up. If you need to reach me, it might be better to call the spa directly. Sure thing. What's the number? There's a pause. Actually, they prefer that guests not give out the direct line. Something about maintaining the peaceful atmosphere. But I'll call you every day, okay? Of course. Love you. Love you too. She hangs up, and I'm left staring at my phone. The woman I married 12 years ago just lied to my face without missing a beat. She's getting good at this deception thing. My phone buzzes with a text from Mitch. Honda's at the motel. Room 237. BMW's here too. I text back. Come pick me up. Time for some reconnaissance. 20 minutes later, Mitch and I are parked across the street from the Riverside Motel, watching Clara's Honda and Gavin's BMW sitting side by side like some kind of automotive love nest. The motel's one of those places that's seen better days, probably back in the 1980s. Neon sign flickering, paint peeling. The kind of place that rents rooms by the hour and doesn't ask questions. Room 237, Mitch says, pointing to a second-floor window, with light spilling out around the edges of drawn curtains. Want me to go knock on the door? No. We're not here to confront them. We're here to document. I pull out my phone and start taking pictures. The cars, the motel, the room number. Evidence for later. What's the plan, boss? Clara thinks she's so smart, playing me for a fool while she tests the waters with her boyfriend. But she made one crucial mistake. What's that? She underestimated me. I put my phone away and start the engine. She's going to come home in a few days, expecting everything to be exactly the same, expecting me to welcome her back with open arms while she figures out her next move. And you're not going to do that? Oh, I'm going to welcome her back, all right. But things are going to be very different. The next morning, I get to work. First stop, the bank. I empty our joint savings account and open a new account in my name only. It's my money anyway, earnings from 12 years of building my business while Clara played house. Next, I call the credit card companies and cancel all the cards with Clara's name on them. Again, perfectly legal. I'm the primary account holder, and I have every right to manage our credit. Then I drive to Home Depot and buy new locks for every door in the house. High security deadbolts that can't be picked or bumped. While I'm there, I grab some boxes and packing tape. Mitch meets me at the house, and we spend the afternoon changing locks and packing up Clara's belongings. Not everything. I'm not that cruel. But her expensive clothes, her jewelry, her collection of romance novels, her fancy skincare products. Everything goes into boxes, neatly labeled and stacked in the garage. You sure about this? Mitch asks as we tape up the last box. Clara wants independence? I'm giving it to her. She can't have it both ways. She can't keep me as a safety net while she explores other options. My phone buzzes. Text message from Clara. Having such a wonderful time. Wish you were here. I text back. Glad you're enjoying yourself. Take all the time you need. And I mean it. Take all the time you need, Clara, because you're going to need it. That evening, I'm sitting in my workshop when Mrs. Patterson knocks on the door. She's holding a casserole dish and wearing the expression of someone who has news to share. Thought you might be lonely with Clara away, she says, handing me the dish. Tuna noodle casserole. Thanks, Mrs. P. That's very thoughtful. You know, I couldn't help but notice that same BMW was back in your driveway yesterday morning. I raise an eyebrow. Really? Mm-hmm. Young man got out and walked around the house, peering in windows. I almost called the police, but then I thought maybe Clara had asked a friend to check on things. What did he look like? Handsome fellow. Dark hair, expensive suit. Drove away when he saw me watching from my window. So Gavin came by to scope out the house, probably checking to see what kind of life Clara would be giving up if she left me. Or maybe looking for valuables they could take when they made their move. Either way, he's made his first mistake. He's shown his hand. Thanks for keeping an eye on things, Mrs. P. Of course, dear. We neighbors have to look out for each other. After she leaves, I call my lawyer, Tom Bradley. Tom handled the legal work when I incorporated my business, and he's been a friend ever since. Elliot, how's business? Business is fine, Tom. It's my marriage that's got problems. I explain the situation, the affair, the lies, the secret phone. Tom listens without interrupting. What do you want to do? He asks when I finish. I want to protect myself. If Clara's planning to leave me for this guy, I need to make sure she can't take half of everything I've built. Massachusetts is a no-fault divorce state, but adultery can still be a factor in asset division. Do you have proof of the affair? Photos, text messages, hotel receipts, the works. Good. I'll draw up some papers. In the meantime, document everything. Every lie, every deception, every dollar she spends on this relationship. Already on it. One more thing, Elliot. Don't do anything stupid. Don't confront the boyfriend. Don't make threats. Don't give Clara any ammunition to use against you. Don't worry, Tom. I'm going to handle this like a professional. But as I hang up the phone, I'm already planning my next move. And it's going to be a doozy. 3 days later, Clara calls to say she's coming home a day early. I miss you so much, she coos into the phone. I can't wait to see you. I can't wait to see you either, sweetheart. And I really can't. I've been planning this moment for days. Clara's Honda pulls into the driveway at 6:30 that evening. I watch from the kitchen window as she gets out, looking tanned and relaxed. She's wearing a new dress I've never seen before, something expensive and flattering. Her hair's been styled differently too, and she's got that glow that women get when they're feeling desired. She tries her key in the front door. It doesn't work. I watch her try again, then check to make sure she's at the right house. The confusion on her face is priceless. She knocks. Elliot? Elliot, are you home? My key isn't working. I take my time answering. When I open the door, I'm wearing my best smile. Clara, you're home early. How was the spa? It was wonderful. But why doesn't my key work? Oh, that. I had the locks changed. Security upgrade. Come on in. She steps inside, and I can see her taking inventory. Everything looks the same, but something feels different. The house feels strange, she says. Does it? I hadn't noticed. Are you hungry? I was just about to order pizza. Actually, I'm pretty tired. I think I'll just go upstairs and unpack. Sure thing. Oh, but I should mention, I packed up some of your things. Spring cleaning, you know? The boxes are in the garage. Clara freezes halfway up the stairs. You packed my things? Just some stuff you don't use much. I figured we could donate it to charity. Unless you want to go through it first? Yes, I'd like to go through it first. Of course, take your time. I follow her to the garage and flip on the lights. 37 boxes, all neatly labeled. Clara's clothes, Clara's shoes, Clara's books, Clara's jewelry. Clara stares at the boxes like they're evidence of a crime. Which, in a way, they are. Elliot, what's going on? Nothing's going on. I just figured since you're finding yourself and all, you might want to start fresh. New Clara, new stuff, right? She opens one of the boxes and pulls out her favorite black dress. This is my work dress. I need this. Do you? I mean, you've been gone for 6 days without it. Seemed like you were managing fine. Clara's eyes narrow. She's starting to realize this isn't the welcome home she expected. Where's my jewelry box? Box number 12, I think. Or maybe 13. They're all labeled. She tears open boxes until she finds her jewelry. Everything's there, but seeing it packed away like donated goods clearly rattles her. I don't understand why you did this. I told you. Spring cleaning, fresh start, new beginnings. I lean against the workbench, perfectly casual. Speaking of new beginnings, how was your massage therapist? The amazing one you mentioned? He was fine, very professional. I'm sure he was. And the spa food? You didn't mention what the meals were like. Clara's getting flustered. The food was good, healthy, lots of salads. And the other guests? Did you make any friends? A few. Mostly we kept to ourselves. It was a very peaceful, quiet place. Sounds lovely. Very different from the Riverside Motel. The words hang in the air like a bomb waiting to explode. Clara's face goes white. What? The Riverside Motel. You know, that place out on Route 9? I hear they have very comfortable rooms. Room 237's supposed to be especially nice. Clara's mouth opens and closes like a fish out of water. I don't know what you're talking about. Don't you? That's strange, because your car was parked there for the last 6 nights. Right next to a silver BMW belonging to one Gavin Miller of Miller Premium Properties. The garage goes dead silent, except for the hum of the fluorescent lights overhead. Elliot, I can explain. Can you? Because I'd love to hear this explanation. I'd love to know how you ended up at a cheap motel with a married real estate agent while you were supposedly at a spa in Vermont, finding yourself. Clara's composure finally cracks. You followed me? I didn't have to follow you, Clara. You left a trail of breadcrumbs that a blind man could follow. Secret phone, explicit text messages, hotel receipts. Did you really think I was that stupid? It's not what you think. It's exactly what I think. You've been cheating on me for months while I worked my ass off to pay for this house, your car, your credit cards, your comfortable little life. And when you decided you wanted to test drive your boyfriend for a week, you lied to my face about it. Clara's crying now, but they're angry tears, not remorseful ones. You had no right to pack up my things. I had every right. This is my house, Clara. My name's on the deed. My money paid for everything in those boxes. My credit cards bought that new dress you're wearing. Our credit cards were canceled yesterday, along with your access to our bank accounts. Turns out when you abandon your marriage for a week-long sex vacation, you lose certain privileges. Clara's face goes from white to red. You can't do that. I already did it. Perfectly legal. Ask your boyfriend. He seems to know a lot about what's legal and what isn't. She lunges at me then, all fingernails and fury, but I catch her wrists easily. 12 years of construction work have made me strong, and 12 years of marriage have taught me to see Clara's tantrums coming. Let me go. Gladly. But here's how this is going to work. You can stay here tonight, in the guest room. Tomorrow, you can start looking for somewhere else to live. Maybe Gavin's got space for you. Or maybe his wife Jessica would like to meet the woman who's been screwing her husband. Clara jerks away from me. You're being cruel. I'm being honest. For the first time in months, someone in this marriage is being completely honest. She storms back into the house, and I hear her on the phone within minutes, calling Gavin, no doubt, telling him that her husband knows everything and the plan's gone sideways. Good. Let them panic. Let them figure out what to do now that their secret's out in the open. I'm just getting started. The next morning, Clara's gone. She took some clothes and her toiletries, but left everything else behind. There's a note on the kitchen counter. I'll be back for the rest of my things. We need to talk about this like adults. Like adults. That's rich, coming from a woman who's been sneaking around like a teenager for the past 4 months. My phone rings around noon. It's a number I don't recognize. Is this Elliot Brenner? Speaking. This is Gavin Miller. I think we need to talk. Do we? I can't imagine what we'd have to discuss. Look, this situation has gotten out of hand. Clara's very upset, and I think there's been some misunderstanding. The only misunderstanding is that you thought you could screw my wife without consequences. There's a pause. When Gavin speaks again, his voice has an edge to it. I don't think you want to make an enemy of me, Elliot. Is that a threat? It's advice. I have connections in this town. I can make things very difficult for your business. I start laughing. I can't help it. This pretty boy thinks he can intimidate me with vague threats about his connections. Gavin, let me give you some advice in return. I've been running a business in this town for 15 years. I've built half the houses in Millfield, including the one you're living in. I employ 23 people, I pay my taxes, and I don't cheat on my wife. So when it comes to connections and reputation, you might want to think twice about who you're threatening. Clara says you've cut off her access to money, changed the locks, packed up her belongings. That's financial abuse. Clara's free to get a job and support herself anytime she wants. She's also free to move in with her boyfriend. What she's not free to do is cheat on me while living in my house and spending my money. This isn't over. You're right about that. He hangs up, and I'm smiling. Gavin Miller just made his second mistake. His first was screwing my wife. His second was threatening me. Time to do some research. I spend the afternoon digging into Gavin's business, public records, client reviews, Better Business Bureau complaints. What I find is interesting. Miller Premium Properties has been operating for 3 years, but Gavin's only closed about 24 deals. For a full-time agent in a decent market, that's pretty weak. Either he's terrible at his job, or he's not really focusing on real estate. More interesting are the complaints. 3 different clients mentioned that Gavin seemed more interested in their wives than their house hunting needs. One complaint specifically mentions inappropriate behavior and unprofessional conduct. I print everything out and add it to my growing file on Gavin Miller. That evening, I drive to the Riverside Motel. Clara's Honda is in the parking lot, along with Gavin's BMW. Room 237 again. These two aren't very creative. I park across the street and call Jessica Miller. Hello, Mrs. Miller. This is Elliot Brenner. I think we should meet. I'm sorry, I don't know who you are. I'm Clara Brenner's husband. I believe you know my wife. There's a long silence. I think you have the wrong number. Your husband is Gavin Miller, real estate agent, drives a silver BMW, correct? Another pause. What do you want? I want to buy you a cup of coffee and show you some pictures. I think you deserve to know what your husband's been doing in his spare time. I can't. The children, bring them. We'll meet at McDonald's. Kids love the playground, and we can talk while they play. I don't think that's a good idea. Mrs. Miller, your husband has been having an affair with my wife for the past 4 months. They're together right now at the Riverside Motel. You deserve to know the truth. I hear her breathing on the other end of the line. When she speaks again, her voice is barely a whisper. McDonald's on Elm Street, 20 minutes. I'll be there. Jessica Miller looks exactly like her photos. Blonde, pretty, tired around the eyes, the way nurses often are. Her kids are maybe 8 and 10. A boy and a girl who head straight for the playground after she buys them Happy Meals. Show me, she says without preamble. I slide my phone across the table. Photos of Gavin's car at the motel, screenshots of his text messages to Clara, hotel receipts I found in Clara's purse. Jessica scrolls through everything without expression. When she's done, she sets the phone down and stares out the window at her children playing. How long have you known? About a week. How long have you suspected? Months. He's been working late, taking weekend appointments, coming home smelling like perfume. She laughs bitterly. I'm a nurse. I notice things like unexplained scratches, lipstick on collars, the way someone acts when they're lying. Why didn't you confront him? Because I was hoping I was wrong. Because we have 2 kids and a mortgage, and I work double shifts just to keep us afloat while he plays real estate agent. She looks at me with tired eyes. What do you want from me? I want them to face consequences for what they've done. My wife thinks she can have it both ways. Keep me as a safety net while she explores other options. Your husband thinks he can cheat on his family without anyone finding out. They're both wrong. What are you suggesting? I'm suggesting we make sure the whole town knows what kind of people they really are. Jessica considers this. Gavin cares about his reputation more than anything, his image, his status, what people think of him. Then we hit him where it hurts. She's quiet for a long moment, watching her kids on the playground. Finally, she nods. What do you need me to do? Saturday morning, I'm in my workshop when Mitch arrives with coffee and donuts. Big day today, he says. The biggest. Today's the annual Millfield Community Block Party, held every year in Riverside Park. Half the town shows up. Families, local business owners, politicians, everyone who's anyone in our little community. It's the perfect stage for what I have planned. At 11 o'clock, Jessica Miller calls. It's done, she says. I told him I was taking the kids to my sister's for the weekend. He thinks I suspect nothing. Perfect. See you at the park? Wouldn't miss it. Clara's been staying at the motel all week, but I know she'll be at the block party. She's never missed one, and she won't want people asking questions about where she's been. Sure enough, I spot her across the park around noon. She's with her friend Sophie, trying to act normal, but I can see the tension in her shoulders. She's wearing sunglasses, despite the cloudy weather, probably to hide the stress in her eyes. Gavin's here too, working the crowd like the politician he thinks he is. Shaking hands, passing out business cards, playing the role of successful local businessman. Neither of them notices Jessica Miller setting up a folding table near the main pavilion. At 1 o'clock, the fun begins. Jessica stands up on a chair and calls for attention. Excuse me, everyone, I have an announcement to make. The crowd starts gathering. Clara and Gavin both look confused. My name is Jessica Miller, and I'm a nurse at Millfield General. Some of you know me, some of you don't. But I think you all deserve to know what kind of man my husband really is. Gavin's face goes white. He starts pushing through the crowd toward his wife. But Mitch and two of my other guys block his path. For the past 4 months, Jessica continues, my husband Gavin has been having an affair with Clara Brenner while I work double shifts to support our family. The crowd erupts in murmurs and gasps. Cell phones come out. People start recording. Clara tries to run, but there's nowhere to go. She's trapped in the middle of the crowd, and everyone's staring at her. They've been meeting at the Riverside Motel, Jessica says, holding up printed photos. While I'm at the hospital saving lives, he's been screwing another man's wife in a cheap motel room. Jessica, stop. Gavin finally breaks free and reaches his wife. This is insane. Is it? Is it insane that I found these text messages on your phone? She holds up her own phone, reading aloud. Can't wait to taste you again. You drive me crazy. Leave your husband and move in with me. The crowd's eating this up. Nothing like a good scandal to liven up a community block party. I step forward. Clara, honey, is there something you wanted to tell me? All eyes turn to my wife. She looks like a deer caught in headlights. Elliot, please, not here. Why not here? These are our friends and neighbors. Don't you think they deserve to know what kind of woman they've been socializing with? You're being cruel, she says, echoing her words from the garage confrontation. I'm being honest. Just like you were honest when you told me you were going to a spa while you were actually shacking up with a married man. Someone in the crowd yells, Clara, is that true? Another voice, what about his wife and kids? The questions come from all directions. Clara's starting to panic. This is all a misunderstanding, Gavin says, trying to regain control. My wife is having some kind of breakdown. Am I? Jessica interrupts. Am I having a breakdown, or am I finally telling the truth about what a lying, cheating piece of garbage you are? The crowd cheers. They love Jessica. She's saved half their lives at one point or another, worked holidays, never complained, and they're getting their first real look at the man who's been betraying her. Here's what's going to happen, I announce. Clara's going to pack up her things and move out of my house. Gavin's going to explain to his children why mommy's filing for divorce, and both of them are going to live with the consequences of their choices. You can't destroy our lives over this, Clara pleads. I'm not destroying your lives. You did that yourselves the moment you decided to betray the people who loved you. The crowd's getting restless. Someone throws a plastic water bottle at Gavin. Someone else yells, cheaters! Police sirens wail in the distance. Someone called the cops about the disturbance. Ladies and gentlemen, I say, raising my voice, I want to thank you all for coming out today. You've witnessed something important. The moment when actions finally have consequences. As the police cars pull up, Clara grabs Gavin's arm. We have to get out of here. They push through the crowd toward the parking lot, followed by boos and catcalls. Jessica watches them go with satisfaction. Feel better? I ask her. Much better. Thank you. Thank you. Couldn't have done it without you. The police want statements, but there's nothing illegal about public humiliation. No threats were made, no violence occurred. Just two cheaters getting exposed for what they really are. By evening, the story's all over social media. Videos of Jessica's speech, photos of Clara and Gavin fleeing the scene, commentary from half the town. Clara's name is trending on the local Facebook groups, and not in a good way. My phone rings around 9 o'clock. It's Clara. Are you satisfied now? She asks. Getting there. You've ruined everything. My reputation, my friendships, my job, your job. My boss saw the videos. She says I'm a liability to the company image. I'm being let go. That's unfortunate. Maybe Gavin can support you. Gavin's wife cleaned out their bank accounts and filed for divorce. His real estate license is under review. We have nothing, Elliot. Nothing. You have each other. Isn't that what you wanted? This isn't over. Yes, it is. It's completely over. I hang up and pour myself a bourbon. Outside, Mrs. Patterson is watering her garden. She waves at me through the window, and I wave back. Tomorrow, I'll start looking for a new house. Something smaller, simpler. A fresh start in a place where I don't have to see Clara or Gavin or remember what they did to me. But tonight, I'm going to sit in my workshop, surrounded by my tools and my projects, and enjoy the sweet taste of justice served cold. Clara wanted to find herself. Well, she found herself all right. She found herself unemployed, homeless, and infamous throughout Millfield, Massachusetts. And Gavin Miller, the man who thought he could threaten me and steal my wife without consequences, found himself divorced, disgraced, and facing financial ruin. They made their choices. Now they get to live with them.